Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It is time for the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic is we're canning beef. And of course, I got Tammy here who's whited out.
Told you like that, Tammy. Where's the beef?
I love her. I remember her. I'm that old.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Where are the beef? Well, let's see who all's here.
I don't see any beef.
All right, so Mark was first in, Walt was second, Phelan was third. That's what it says. It says third, ... third. Stupid autocorrect. See? Let's see. And Tammy said hi. Chipper66 is here. Caitlin Strain is here. And Walt fired off. Where's the beef?
He beat you.
Sumi's here. Mother Earth Garden Club is here. And Chipper posted he got a new pressure canner from Amazon, $65.
Yeah, T-Fal's good.
Yeah. And so I actually, after he posted, I went looking for it. I'll bring it up and show you guys what that looks like here in a minute. Let's see who else is here. So that everyone's talking back and forth. Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man is here. And Philip Pham is here. All righty. Okay, so before I jump in, let me go ahead and just bring that up here so everybody can see that. This is there it is, $65.79. It's a bestseller right now. And take a deep look at it here. For a beginner, that's probably, that's 34% off.
Oops, back one.
Yeah, not that little one.
Not the little one, the big one. Yeah, there we go. So you got yourself your gauges. You got yourself that. Cool.
Ooh, it's
has a little video how to do it. Yeah, so you have 3 pressure settings, 5, 10, and 15 pounds. Cool.
Yeah, and it's a pressure cooker, so you can actually cook in it too.
Yeah. It's a double duty.
Yes.
So Chipper made a big. All right.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So how'd you guys' weekends go?
I was getting over being sick. So and then I was given 6 pineapples that had to be canned now.
Oh.
So I spent all day yesterday canning pineapple.
And Michelle's here. Well, yesterday, my neighbor across the street, Curtis, I've talked about Curtis a bunch. He's the new mayor here. So he came over and he did something for the grandkids. And so got some pictures here. He put in a little motocross track for them.
That's the mayor with a bobcat? Cool.
Yep. He's got 3 bobcats. And that's his son compacting everything in with their little quad. And what do the grandkids do?
You got to
run it instead of riding it.
You got it's like walking a car track. You got to walk it first to see what's there. Then you get on the BMXers and go.
So that's what happened over here yesterday. And you can let me go back to that for a second. You can see here the burnt area here. I burnt all along that fence. The weeds were up high where I couldn't mow it with the brush hog. So I just burnt it all around the property. Got most of it done. Burnt 2.5 acres out on the big field. Well, 2.5 acre area. Didn't burn everywhere because some of the weeds weren't tall enough. Others was too green area. So it just kind of burned around. It's kind of splotchy, but I got everything down. And yeah, it was a fun weekend there. Go ahead and take that out.
That works. I just got my 3 4x8 beds, my 2x8 bed, and my 2 24-foot by 3-foot beds all cleaned up and weeded out and strawed and ready to go. Repotted all my tomatoes because they were out of control and getting leggy up under the grow lights. So they're outside now.
Cool. Hey, Jack, Geeky Gardens in the house. That's the other thing I do. Jack had sent me a package. I did a mail call video on a package of the right. I'm just gonna forget the name of it here. Has 2 Z's in it. Shoot. Anyway, type of cherry tomatoes that he's trying to populate it around and stuff. And so I started 3 of them this morning, and so I got those starting up, and now I got to try again on the Ponderosa lemons. Yeah, Praxis, that's it. Praxis cherry tomatoes. There we go. So
2 X's, 2 Z's.
Yeah, 2 X's, 2 Z's. Yeah. Hey, the X and the Z key are right next to each other. So hey, that's in the bottom left-hand corner of the keyboard. So yeah, they're gonna yeah. So if those get going good, I'm gonna give one to my daughter for across the street. Then I'll have 2 of them out here for when the grandkids come over. But we will be saving seeds, and then I'll be giving away seeds after the season's over with. So
just keep them separate from your other tomatoes.
Yeah, they're going to be in a different area, probably out front on the driveway where I moved all my IBC totes around out there, and then my other tomatoes will be in the back. And since the wind blows from the south side where the Praxis will be towards the others, there won't be any contamination.
Just tell your daughter not to grow anything across the street.
Oh, she's growing daikon radishes, corn, beans, and squash in the one area. She's going to try to do in the Three Sisters area that I rototilled up over by the cargo containers. And then she's doing some other stuff going on in there. And her husband's doing something way out on the far side. So it's way away from everybody. And then they're thinking about trying to use one of the old IBC totes I left on the other side there, try to grow mushrooms. I told them, this is on the south side of the shop. The sun's on the south side of the shop. Mushrooms like it dark and cool. It's like, take some of those black and yellow totes, put them down in the basement where you got it dark, grow your mushrooms down there. Get on with this. We got shows. We got 15 people in here. So let's get over here. And I just got one other picture to show. Yes, we're going to can a beef. All righty.
That's like canning milk, isn't it?
That'd be a double one. That'd be a double dipper there.
Canning milk, canning beef and milk. No, I don't think that would be good.
Definitely not kosher.
Well, it depends what part of the cow you can the beef from.
You can't mix meat and milk together and be kosher.
Wow, yeah. Comes from the same animal, but you can't mix them.
No, you can't.
But
Trust me. I take care of a lot of specialty restaurants that have 2 separate dish machines. One is dairy, one is meat. You do not put them together ever.
Nope. But there's a good reason for it. It's because your complex proteins they don't go well together either. So I mean, there was actually a good reason to get good nutrition way back when they didn't have the varied diet that we have now. Yeah. That they did that. So there was a real good reason to do that.
Yeah.
All right, on to the meat.
Okay.
Get to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, Chipper says whole beef processing preserves all the nutrients. The hooves are super nutritious.
Yeah, McDonald's will tell you that.
Well, if you like glue, I used to eat glue in school, but that's about all I would use the hooves for.
I never caught on to the Elmer's glue fad of, eating
No,
glue.
no, this is not Elmer's glue. This is the good old-fashioned paste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the little jar of paste with the screw on top with the red thing on. You put in it. You put your paste on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yummy. Try super glue.
No.
And Joe is in the house.
Hi, Joe.
And Kaylin says Islam doesn't have that rule about mixing the milk and the beef, so you can't. So actually, you want to do this? I was thinking about chicken fried steak, canning chicken fried steak, but it's got the flour in it, so you really don't want to can the gravy and everything together.
No, you can
probably wouldn't come out well.
No. You can the steak, take it out of the jar, coat it, and fry it to heat it up, and make it chicken fried steak that way.
If it holds as one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to make sure it's thick enough.
Like 2 inches.
Hey, you just have to make it thick enough.
It's already cooked, so you just have to warm it up.
Yeah.
So, canning beef. I'm not going to put all the questions in like I did before, because a lot of people, most people are kind of sure about beef, but there may be some that aren't. So I'm going to hit it right off the bat. I'm going to fire a full broadside from the Wisconsin at the federal government. You ready for it?
Sure.
Just because they don't say it's recommended doesn't mean they're saying it's not recommended. It just means that at the time the organization came into effect, everybody was doing it already, and they knew it was good, so they didn't test it. And because they don't test it, they can't recommend it. That's why water bathing meat is not recommended, because they haven't tested it, because, hey, it was accepted by them in the beginning.
Anybody in Europe still water baths, because pressure canners are prohibitively expensive over there.
Yeah.
So they all water bath. And, just like California, if you do it in California, you probably get cancer from it.
All right. We got two just joined us in from your side, Tammy.
Hey, Becca. She's at home.
And where's the other one? Oh, and Denise.
Oh, hi, Denise. Yes. Hi.
So, you can water bath meat. My grandmother did it. My great grandmother did it for years, ever since since the jars first came out and the lids came out, and nobody in the family ever got sick from it. But it's time consuming. And actually, I found out they actually canned a lot. I was talking to one of my cousins, actually one of my mom's cousins, and they got being older generation. She got it firsthand from her dad and stuff. And I froze. That they canned some of the beef in the wintertime, because they, the late fall, they would when they get into first snows and stuff, they would do the beef because it's cool, and they could hang it up and let it in the cold air and stuff, and let it do and cool. The meat would cool down and stuff, and then they would do the water bath canning, because hey, that helped keep the house warm in the wintertime.
Yeah, and humid.
Yes.
And humid is warmer than dry.
Yes. And so they would do water bath canning of beef in the wintertime, whereas they did all the vegetables and stuff in the summer and fall. They did the beef, and then they did the venison and the bear as well, canning in the wintertime.
Well, you do the vegetables as the harvest comes in.
Yeah.
You can only eat so much.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 hours at least rolling boil. Some say 3. Some groups say 4.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen that.
I always err on the side of caution. I would do it for just over 3.
It's like pressure canning. If you go over your 10-minute vent time, it doesn't hurt anything.
No.
Yeah. So you can do both. You can do both water bathing and pressure canning of beef. What is your favorite cuts to can?
The cheapest ones I find at the grocery store. The cheapest, tougher, grizzly old cuts are the ones that turn to just butter in the pressure canner and
Chuck
are
steak.
just beautiful.
Chuck
So
roast.
whatever is the cheapest when I go to the store for a roast. And
I
then
do whatever
cut
I got
my-
in the freezer that needs to go.
Yeah. Well, whatever's the oldest in the freezer, that's also perfect because I don't have to buy that again.
Except for prime rib and tenderloin. Yeah, those don't get canned. They get eaten.
No. Yeah, I committed a cardinal sin and it was really hard for me. But we actually canned venison tenderloin.
Oh, geez, it turned to paste.
No, it was still it stayed in little medallions, but it broke my heart to do it, but I just didn't have room for it. It just killed me. Like my dad is rolling in his grave going, "Fry it up and eat it right now. What are you doing?" But yeah, I actually did that and was like, "Oh, that's so bad."
Oh, where to go? Right? Do.
There it is.
Oh,
SOS
yeah.
with canned meats as kids. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's the
See,
thing
there's
too.
there's your cream in the beef canned, but you add the cream
Yeah, afterwards.
and you heat it up and make it.
Yeah.
The cheapest is what my brain said.
Yep.
Yeah. So all right. So that's something, I wasn't sure about what is the best thing. I know you mentioned somewhere else about the cheap, hard, tough things becoming tender and pressure canning. So, and Glenn's here. How to garden? Hey, Glenn. And so, so I guess that's something. If you're going to be pressure canning beef, that's the thing to go for. Go for the cheap stuff on sale.
Yep. That grizzly old chuck roast, that is going to be just fall apart off your fork tender. So go for the thing that's the cheapest. That's all you need.
So, you said, the roast.
Mm-hmm.
So the roast isn't going to be cooked like we normally cook roast in one big old chunk. You're going to be cubing it up into small pieces and putting it in there. That way you can get it back out of the jar.
Well, like Mark said, probably about 2 inches thick, 2-inch squares, cubes.
Yeah.
No, I've done it. I told you on one of the previous ones, I did a pot roast in a jar. So I had a chunk of onion in there. I had a potato or 2 pieces in there. I had a carrot in there. I did meat times, but I made I used I-round because it was easy to control. I cut them into 1.5 by 1.5 by 5-inch long pieces, browned it in a high heat cast iron skillet just for the flavor, not to cook it. Then I dropped it in a jar, added some water to it. And that way I had a full pot roast dinner ready to go. Just dump it out of the jar, throw it in a bowl. And if you want to thicken up the juice, knock yourself out. I just ate it like soup.
Yeah.
Cool. What? All right. Since you Mark already took it there ahead of time into,
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Because we were going to go there anyways.
I know.
I wanted to answer your question though, before you go on. You can cube it, but you can also do slices. So you can wind up with kind of like a steak too. If you take that eye around and slice it thick, you can wind up with some nice little steaks in a jar. But it's always good to brown them, sear them first.
See, that's where Gil's going now. So hot pack, cold pack. I don't do a hot pack, but I'll do a flavor pack. I will throw it on the skillet in a cast iron just to give it a good sear. Or if I want a different flavor, I'll throw it on the barbecue and grill it just to get it on high heat, just to get it brown and seared and get that different flavor and put it in a jar. So not a barbecue flavor, but a grilled beef flavor versus a cast iron seared beef flavor, or just raw pack.
Okay. Well, all right. Before I go on with where you're going with when you got the vegetables and everything in it with the beef, I know there's something my wife is going to want to know if we can do. You know the little jars of the dried beef, the little thinly sliced pieces you use for making SOS or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Cream chip beef on toast.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you can meat like that? Or is that done a different? Is that a?
It's been
totally weird way.
It's been partially dehydrated. It's sliced, partially dehydrated, and then packed in the jar.
Okay, and then
that way it holds its form and maintains that firm texture of your little tidbits of poop on a shingle.
Right, there you have it, folks. How you can make dried beef, like the little jars of Hormel dried beef. Yeah. Dehydrate it a little bit, slice it, dehydrate it, then can it.
Yeah.
You can throw them on a cookie sheet, slice it thin, throw it on a cookie sheet with a drying rack or a cooling rack in the cookie sheet in the oven at like 100 and whatever the lowest your oven will go, and just leave it in there for a while until it dries up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Then can it.
That will make the staff sergeant very happy to know that we can do that here, because she likes making cream chip beef on toast, and she hates it when people call that SOS.
Why do I get the feeling
SOS we had in the Army was totally different, and it was nasty?
Why do I get the feeling you, me, Tammy, and Staff Sergeant are going to be just doing StreamYard together as a WebEx to go over some of this stuff when she gets up there?
See, we always buy it at the store because those little tiny glass jars they come in, that's our juice glasses. It's not the fine china, but that's what you give the kids, because otherwise waste, a juice glass like this. So those little glasses are the kids' juice glasses. Just so you know, we have to have a set at least 4 at any time.
Yeah. Okay, so canning beef. Mark was saying about adding the onions, the potatoes, the celery, making a stew. What do you usually can with beef if you're mixing something in with it? Is there anything in particular like prepping for meals and stuff? And
Is this for me or Tammy?
Either one of you.
Well, it depends on what you want to do. So I've canned just beef because you don't know what you're going to do with it. Mm-hmm. Or I'll make a meal in a jar. That's basically, if I want to throw onions in there, I'll usually cook the onions first to get that high bitterness out and all the gases off of it, so it's not as overpowering when you open the jar up. But beef and onions, or just beef, and then water, whether it's raw pack, cold pack, or a hot pack if you're going to cook it ahead of time with some broth. I've done it both ways, always, and they all taste a little bit different. I don't know which one's better. I just like the way they taste.
I do it plain, because I may open it up and add it to a casserole or to something else. Otherwise, I always, if I have it on hand, I will do potatoes, onions, carrots.
Yeah. Now I noticed nobody is, and even in side chat, nobody said about doing the beef with garlic, a clove of garlic in there or something.
Oh, it would be good. It'd be good, but
I would roast the garlic first. I wouldn't put it in raw.
Right.
I would actually throw the garlic in the oven and roast it, so you could basically not roast it till it's dead, but just cook it a little bit. It gets some of those there's a word for it, the vapors, so it doesn't overpower your beef. Just like when you roast garlic, if you roast it right, you can squeeze it out like butter and just spread it on bread. It tastes great, and it's not overpowering like garlic.
Yeah.
All right, Northern Girl Hobby says always garlic. Then she says the next one down below is raw. So I guess she does her raw garlic.
There's no reason not to.
I always add water to my beef. Again, whatever meal I'm going to have, I always want to have gravy. We need a lot of, if I'm canning it plain, I'm going to add water because I'm going to plan on serving it then over noodles or mashed potatoes. So I want the meat to make its own juice so I can make it into gravy. So
All right. So now I'm going to share something here that I did a live stream on. In fact, that's the setup when I did it. So I got my hamburger with the number 10 can of baked beans from the chef's store. And I wound up making 13 of these. Plus I had a bowl of it. But I made 13 of this of the baked beans with the ground beef in it. And I had 5 pounds of ground beef to that number 10 can of beans. I cooked it all up, mixed it all up, and heated it in this. And then from this pot, I just filled the jars up and then pressure canned it.
Yep.
So what other things then?
What do you make with that?
What do you make with this?
Burritos.
You pop it open and you start eating it. It is absolutely divine.
It's cowboy beans. Cowboy beans, Mark. He's out west. He's got some cowboy style. Cowboy
one of those
style.
California things.
No, this is actually This was a Arizona thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up on that is it was a recommended, just a cheap way of doing stuff from one of the cookbooks from up in Fredonia, Arizona.
Yeah, it makes the meat go farther with the beans in there.
Yeah,
and it's high protein.
And it changes the flavor of just the plain hamburger into something that the grandkids actually were snarfing on it. Until they found the whole bean, and one of them goes, "Oh, it's a bean!" They go, "Yeah, it's been delicious, hasn't it been?" Okay.
Heat it up, throw it in a burrito with some rice and whatever, and you got your beef burritos.
Yep.
You can can burritos in a jar, just everything but the shell, and then you heat it up, open it up. I have a video.
Yeah.
You can do enchiladas. I mean, they sell enchiladas in a can, ready to eat.
Enchiladas and
tamales.
Tamales.
Yep.
Yes.
I want to do tamales. I've got a lady here that makes them incredibly authentic, way better than I could, and I want to get some and can them just to do a video.
Yeah. The next version of I'm going to do is with the 5 pounds of beef. I'm going to do up a pound of bacon in it.
Ooh.
And then I got 2 bacon monsters. number 3 and number 4 grandsons, and they will just absolutely devour it then.
I just canned 18 pints of bacon, and I have another 9 packages to can up.
Yeah. Okay. Howie just came in on your side, and also Sandra Volmar just came in on your side, Tammy. We have got to get Tammy a laptop. All right. I got her priced out for one on Amazon. I already sent her a $25 Amazon gift card. Everybody send Tammy to Rebel Canners. It's easy to do it on from Amazon. You send a $5, $10 Amazon gift card. Let's get her a good laptop so she can actually see the chat at the same time.
Yeah, I can't see anything, but if I fire up the Red Baron, then it hurts everybody's ears.
Yeah. And
it's really one of the kids' cell phones and pull it up. You can watch the chat there.
Yeah. But it's if you comes time to give gifts, you don't know what to give somebody. The Amazon gift cards are really easy, really simple. You open up Amazon up at the top there. You usually say gift cards. If it doesn't say gift cards, just type in gift cards. You click on. All you need to know is know their email address. You put it in there, put them out in. Boom, bam, it's off to them. And not only that, you get notification when they receive it and when they cash it in. So
you don't have Best Buy near you, do you?
Yeah,
over an hour away, maybe an hour and a half away.
Don't make fun of the Baron.
The Baron is Becca's contribution to me, so.
Yeah. else I saw here on the side chat? Stuffed grape leaves. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Never can chili. That's possible. I actually, I've made a lot of chili, but I've made it, and then I've put it in the sealing wheel bags. Flattened it out, froze it, and so I just pop them out. I just fill the tub here up, this pot here full of water, get it to just a simmering boil, and I'll drop several of the bags of chili in there, and depending on how many, if I have all the grandkids or just me and the staff sergeant, and we'll do chili that way there.
I can chili all the time, so I have it on hand in the winter. I call it one of my planned leftover meals because if I don't take what I plan to can out first, there will be no leftovers. So I take it out and then enough to do a load in my canner, and then the next time I don't have to cook it, I can just open a jar. And yes, I do it with beef and with beans. I know they say it's no longer recommended to do it that way.
Oh,
Beans and meat go for the same time.
yeah.
You
don't
doesn't
want to
matter
know
what takes up space in the jar.
You don't
They're
want to know
both
what's
in
in the
there.
freeze dryer right now.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I'm going to take to Wisconsin all mad, turn it and fire a broadside at the government. It's no longer recommended, but they haven't tested it because it was long accepted practice of doing that before that 3-letter or 4-letter alphabet agency came into existence and started saying, "Oh, you can only do away with what we tested."
Well, they tested it.
They were only testing the stuff that people weren't doing normally.
Yeah.
They tested it 20 years ago, but since then, we don't have time to test that. So just don't do it.
Actually,
They
some of
want
the
more
stuff they
funding.
never tested because it was acceptable common practice.
Yes.
So they never tested it.
Yeah. They just want more money for funding. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Soon they won't fund it at all, and they'll say canning is going to kill you.
Oh, some people are saying that already. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Those
they
are the
always say
ones.
that.
Those are the ones from the canning, the commercial canning industry that made.
That
From
and the picture of
the 4 companies that control the food right now that we eat in the entire world, those 4 companies don't like it?
Nah, they don't like it. That and the picture of the pressure cooker with the lid embedded in the ceiling that's been floating around for a decade.
Mark, do not get me started on that. So fake. How could there be one lid embedded that shot up the opposite way one would if it shot up in the air, and another one in the stove? Yet they're canning and their meat still hasn't been unwrapped on the counter. I mean, why did you run the canner if you haven't even started canning? Because your stuff is still unwrapped on the counter. Okay.
I was testing it, and I glued the weight down and walked away for 4 hours, so it hit 150 psi and blew up like a bomb.
You also soldered up the emergency blow plug on the inside, so it couldn't release.
It kept leaking, so I just plugged it. Yeah.
That's just to scare people so they won't can, and that's really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really ridiculous.
Botulism kills everybody. Yeah, that's it. Everybody gets botulism. Meanwhile, there's only 3 cases in the last 10 years.
You get more food poisoning from commercial growers than you do from home canning.
Yeah.
Just look
at all the this is okay. If you do not want to get botulism, here is how I will tell you what to do. It is really simple. There is number 1 cause of botulism since they started checking it in 1972. Do not ferment fish. Do not let fish rot on your counter and then can it. That is the number 1 cause of botulism in Alaska, for canning fermented fish.
But doesn't cooking your I'm sorry, I took my serve safe. I mean, I've been doing food for a very long time. But doesn't cooking bad food just magically make it better? Yeah, I had a meme on that one way back when.
Well, if you boil it for 10 minutes longer, if you're in a higher altitude,
not if it's already bad.
Yeah, it will kill certain things. It will still taste like poop, but it'll
probably kill you anyway.
things that can kill you.
Exactly, Mother Earth Garden Club.
Yeah, shocker.
We don't count those. They're not taking statistics on that.
Don't worry about all the problems with the lettuces and things that they keep recalling. You know, 2 people got sick, recall the entire 8 million pounds or bushels of lettuce. Yeah, my grandma did that apparently because her house had this perpetual red stain from my father, who decided to make meat sauce in a pressure cooker, didn't know how to use it, and walked away. And when it vented out, it shot a half a gallon of tomato sauce right into their white ceiling. And for 50 years, they would paint it every year, and that grease would still come out. Didn't blow up. It just blew the vent out and just shot tomato sauce all over the kitchen.
I bet he heard about it from his significant other for quite a while, didn't he?
Well, he was young when he did that, so he didn't have a significant other yet. He was the oops baby.
Yeah. All right. I'm running some things through my mind here. Amazing. I have a mind. I was
God help us.
All the safety stuff is in place, and all the signs I'm saying, don't drink gasoline, don't do the, yeah. And I still lived. Okay.
Yeah, don't eat the contents of the battery. Yeah.
Yeah. What vegetables? So if we did canning vegetables last week, canning beef this, what vegetables would you, not can with beef? I know my wife is going to ask about, she likes making beef and broccoli in large batches.
No, do not can broccoli.
Never can broccoli.
Yeah.
Freeze it or freeze
broccoli.
dry it. Don't can it.
Yeah.
It's easier to say what would you put in with beef. I would put in the hard vegetables, not peas, not broccoli, not cauliflower, not the soft veggies, squash, stuff like that. Potatoes, carrots, onion. That's
parsnip.
Basically, and parsnip, any of the hard root vegetables, yes.
Yeah.
Anything soft, now can them separately. If you got peas, you want peas in your beef stew, can them separately, and then just mix them together later.
The only thing I can think you can think of to put that you might want to, of the soft one, you might want to can with the beef would be like the peppers. If you want to get, you can do like garlic. You put a small pepper in there. Whether you're going to go with a jalapeno or a bell pepper or a Carolina Reaper, if you're into that.
Banana peppers go well. Pickled banana peppers go well in meat.
That's pickled. They're pre-pickled, so they're already canned technically.
Yeah. And then you put them in anyway.
Okay. I found it here. Let me get it up here.
There's actually 3 locusts coming out. It's like a trifecta of.
Yeah.
And locusts. I actually, when I was walking today, I actually thought I saw some exoskeletons, but they were actually the poplar buds.
Were they red?
No, they were yellow and orange. And then they had
I pulled out these 3. They looked like grubs out of my garden. I had grub, big fat grubs. I pulled them out and smashed them. But I found these 3 that were like red and hard on the shell. I'm like, okay.
Oh, these are kind of brown now. I don't know if you can see. Where's my camera? See them. They look.
Are they like grub-looking things?
They are, but they're actually the pods off the poplar blossoms.
Oh no, mine were moving.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, you might have something else then.
Okay, I
thought these were their exoskeletons, but they weren't.
I found a recipe here. See if I can get it one a little bit bigger here. There we go. All right, Mark, this one's for you.
Uh-oh. Yeah, no. My dog eats them. It's fun to listen to him buzz in his mouth as we're yelling at him as he chews it and swallows it, and we go, "Oh, please, dude, why did you eat that?"
I have an iodine allergy. I cannot eat exoskeletons of seafood and or cicadas. I will.
Nobody should eat bugs.
Well, here, the direction part here is what got me. Marinate the cicadas alive in a sealed container with Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah,
Several
those
hours.
Poor bugs. Don't do that
Okay.
to the bugs. No.
Yeah.
Let them
60.
live.
I like that. 60 freshly emerged 17-year cicadas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not eating anything that's 17 years. No.
All right.
No.
The
I don't eat bugs. Well, except for
another
shrimp.
one here for you, Mark.
Sure.
Here's another one for you.
That's good. I like that one.
Jalapeno.
You gotta send me that one.
Yeah. Hal gets a visit from the Carolina Reaper. Oh no, I'm a ghost pepper now.
Aw.
You gotta email me that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I found the other one. I did send this one to Joe, Grow Big TV. I believe I sent that to him about a month ago, and I also sent the one about the. I'm not going to show it because it's.
Oh yeah, that one's not quite appropriate for our young audience.
Yeah.
It's the. I have a leap. The kangaroo says I have a vertical leap of 10 feet. Turtle says I can live 150 years, and the beaver's there going, your vanilla flavoring comes from here. And then the dodo goes, my wingspan is oh dear God.
Yeah.
But
nobody wants to know where the vanilla comes from. Okay.
You want to know where the artificial vanilla comes from? Go over to White Family Farm, and Courtney even has the beaver emoji over there because that's a favorite thing over there talking about where the artificial vanilla comes from.
Hey Chipper, I just saw his comment. Hey Chipper, they make a toothpaste for you called Bug Out. I had a cicada get in my helmet once at 70 miles an hour. That was not fun.
Oh, yes. You said nobody should eat a bug. I think anybody going on a motorcycle 70 miles an hour should eat bugs. But
don't you know we've all consumed at least 100 spiders by the time we die. They crawl in your mouth while you're sleeping and you just swallow them. Yeah.
No.
They closed Hy-Vee store last summer. Birds had been seen on the fresh produce. Yeah. All right. So beef. What else? Okay. So hard stuff: potatoes, carrots, onions. Then you got your semi-softs. And your celery, your garlic, peppers. What else would you can in with beef besides salt?
Pepper.
You said pepper.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to think. You give people ideas out here.
You can put some barbecue sauce in there, but disclaimer: you do not want any of these sweet ones. Like if it says sweet in its name, you want I've done the open pit that are very vinegar based that are not sugar based.
Like a Carolina based.
Yeah, like an open pit. Not a Sweet Baby Ray's because it will scald, it will burn, waste your.
Yeah.
Yes, mushrooms he was asking for vegetables, but mushrooms is perfect. Yes.
Okay. Mother Earth News has a what spices shouldn't you can?
Sage. Don't can sage.
And I wouldn't put a whole bay leaf in there either.
Yeah, I do, but I don't think things that are Yeah. I have canned leeks. When you open the jar, it's gonna
Yeah.
taste like leeks, especially if you do like wild leeks or wild garlic, or ramps. It will totally overpower everything that you have done. So that's something that should saute fresh and add when you open, unless you really, really like the taste of them and you don't want to taste the meat. If your meat is really gamey, make sure you take off all the sinew. Like if you're doing, depending on what things are fed, they can be very gamey. So if you have beef that is running through a cedar swamp, because that's how your property is set up, you're going to want to can it in tomato sauce, because the tomato sauce will take the gamey flavor away from it.
Okay. That's something, back when I first got married, I used to go hunting and I'd get deer and stuff. And, sometimes you could tell sometimes you could tell the clean shot because it wasn't gamey. But, if he pounded a little bit before he fell over, all that adrenaline was pumped in there and you got the gaminess to it.
So if you can it in like a V8 or in tomato sauce, it'll take a lot of that gaminess out of the meat.
Now, if you want to make like a New England boiled dinner style, you can throw in some big chunks of tomatoes raw, right into your jar with the other stuff, seeds and all. Just throw it all in there. You have like a New England boiled dinner with your potatoes and your onions and that.
Yeah. I mean, you could can cabbage in there, but anything in the broccoli or the cabbage family, so cabbage, broccoli, any of the crucifer, cauliflower, those cruciferous, I'm saying this wrong, but vegetables, those all get, when they cook, they release the same chemical compound as when a skunk sprays. Okay? You
Like
do not want to bottle
nightshade.
that. You don't want to bottle that in your jar. Your canning
jar. So that means you're not going to can Mary Joanna.
Not for consumption, no. I don't know if they can smoke it. I've heard of people canning it. I know people do things with like ointments with the oil, and they can the oil in a 15-minute water bath. But that's all I'm going to say.
Because I mean, when I was growing up as a kid back in the 60s, it was also referred to as skunk weed.
Yeah. It gets really skunky. So you don't want anything that like that. You're not going to want to put a lot of that, any kind of, and somebody said something about fresh herbs. Remember, if you have a recipe that calls for dried herbs, you use 1/3 of that amount fresh to put in your recipe. So you want to drastically reduce the amount of fresh herbs that you put in over a recipe that's for dried herbs.
Sounds like I got the grandkids out here playing outside, which means they're either their mom or their dad's out there with them because they had to walk them across the street. We got this. My wife picked up this cool little thing. It's like a little ramp, plastic ramp. Has a little cart that's the car cart. They sit on it. They sit in it, and they push it and go across the driveway.
The little Tykes roller coaster.
Yes. And it just goes down the ramp and basically, because the driveway's tapered kind of like this for drainage, and then it drains off the side. So they go this way and then they slow down as they go uphill, like a runaway truck. And they hit the gravel before they get to the road. It stops them.
Boom.
So that'd be a nice mud pit when it rains.
Actually, my driveway's all concrete. And the gravel
not the drive. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking. My wife was leaving. I thought we were talking about the kids' new little.
No, that out there. No, we're talking about right out here in my driveway here. Oh, yeah. Well, the grandkids are why we are on this side of Idaho and not the other side of Idaho in Adams County, where we were going to buy. Because I had several 10-acre lots lined up that were side by side that I could pick up for $3,000 each, and one of them had a well on it already. No, we don't want to be by the grandkids. Okay, happy wife, happy life.
That's right. Listen to the staff sergeant.
Yep. So, all right. Oh, okay. So, one of the final thing to mention. Okay, talking about the herbs and spices and stuff. One of the things that we will be canning a lot of is ground beef, pre-seasoned in half pints or maybe pints, with the homemade taco seasoning / burrito seasoning / quesadilla seasoning my wife makes.
Yes, I have a video out on canned taco meat.
And so we will, once you said it, we'll be doing that. Not only will we be canning beef, since we already talked about it, we'll be doing the same thing with tiny cube chicken and turkey and pork.
Yep.
So
you don't have to cube
our
chicken.
family likes all different ones in the burritos and quesadillas and stuff.
If you're going to shred your chicken anyway, you don't need to cube it small. Just leave it in chunks because it's going to actually, you're better off leaving it a little bigger chunks. So when it comes out, when you open the jar up, it shreds and has like nice long shreds to it instead of these little itty bitty tiny little bits of chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like when she's cooked it, everybody at home likes it cut up, the smaller. So you go to bite the burrito, you'll pull out a stringy one, pull out stuff out of the burrito.
After it's canned, that won't happen.
It gets smaller when it cans. Remember, meat shrinks in the canner, so you have to pack it really tight, and it will shrink down quite a bit.
All right. So coming up this week, are you going live this week, Tammy?
I should be able to go live Thursday, probably about a little late, probably about 12:15.
12:15 Eastern time. All right.
Yep.
For me, for tomorrow on my other channel, Gray Man Prepping, the topic was suggested by Rachel Knight, and this is, I think, is a very good, important topic, especially the way she has it set up in her email and stuff. The topic is temporary kids' tattoos for safety.
Oh.
And so we're going to be talking about these, and she provided a lot of information on it. So that's what tomorrow night is. That's Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping, 10 o'clock Eastern time. On Thursday night is the Midnight Ride with Gray Man Prepping. And Friday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, the topic is bugs. Good, bad, and ugly. We're talking garden bugs, not eating bugs.
You will eat the bugs. Sorry, I had to say that. That's why you invite me.
You'd be surprised how many bugs people eat from their garden, but the bugs they're eating don't get rinsed out, and so it's just protein that's eating the food that they've been eating.
Those are little bugs.
I can honestly say, now that I've thought about it, there's only one bug I want to eat, and I'm not giving up my fig Newtons, even though I have learned that they have bugs in them.
All right. Saturday on Gray Man Prepping, talking about social media, mainstream media, and basically the title is MSM admits mind control agenda. So that's on Saturday, on Survival Saturday on Gray Man Prepping. Next Monday here, canning fruit and nut butters.
Okay.
So we're talking about making like your apple butter, your almond butter, your peanut butter. It's not really a fruit; it's a legume. But all the different butters and stuff, and which ones you can, and which ones you
pumpkin butter.
Yeah, whatever. So anyways, that's what's coming up next Monday. So Tammy at 12:15 Thursday. Tomorrow's at 10 o'clock on Gray Man Prepping. These are Eastern times. Midnight Ride is actually going to be 10 o'clock because it's midnight in Rio de Janeiro, and we're all partying down in Rio. Friday night here for Friday night on the homestead is 10 o'clock. Saturday is 8 o'clock Eastern. All right. And everyone in the side chat, thank you for all those great comments and putting stuff in. I froze. I was looking over there. I didn't see I froze. And thank you, Tammy, for coming up. And Mark, one of these days, Mark will start doing videos.
Oh, stop.
And so, everyone, have a good night and think about canning something new. See you around.